Hello, YouTubers. Hey, Christmas time. Christmas is around the corner here. By the time you see this, it's going to be December, and it's going to be getting close to Christmas. So let's get this stick going. It's light as a feather. It's a good sturdy stick, and it's pretty straight. Not too bad. Been drying out a while, so I'm going to peel it off. And I'm going to put something special for Christmas for a special person I know. It's going to be kind of a surprise. You won't see it until I get back to the carving bench, but then it'll be too late. I can't keep it a secret anymore because it's going to kind of start shaping up then. But you stay with me and we'll see what this looks like. Now, to start with, I'm going to have to skin this bark off of here, trim it down a little bit. We'll get her about halfway finished that way, and then we'll go back to carving bench and we're going to carve maybe from here on up. And just stay with me. I think you're going to like this one. Welcome back to my carving bench. Took the top of this stick and cut out just a little notch on my jigsaw there. Just kind of a shape of a tree, and I sketched out a couple lines, center line here, just a few guidelines, but not to bore you with that. Let's just get on with the carving. I'll put my hood down, turn the knife on, and we'll get to going. I call it my knife. It's a Dremel flex shaft, cuts all bit. I have here a small bottle of alcohol ink. It's called Spring Grain is the name of this one. Now, you simply unscrew the bottles, get all unscrewed here. It has a little applicator on it. And we're just going to put it right on the limb. Let me get the camera up a little closer so you can see this a little better. Okay, here we are with the tree all fixed up, and for the little wooden balls, and that's going to go right there on top. You can't see it very well now, but it's something like that, and that's going to go on last, so we don't want to do that just yet. Now, I've used 5 different colors. There's green for the underlayment on the tree. And then I come over with advanced white in the ink. And that's what gave it the snow effect that's on the tree right there. And I have bright red for the wooden ball that goes on the top. And I have plain brown. This is all India ink. And I got coffee, and that was put on first on the trunk was coffee all the way around, and then I put splotches of brown. Next, what we're going to do, I have these stick pins. That stick pin is going to make the little balls right on the tree, and what we have to do is cut these off, leaving just a small amount of pin. And I want to tell you, have your safety glasses on, clip that, and hold the pin away from you or into the trash can, be best, because they come off of there like a bullet. And if they went in the eye, they'd go inside the eye, I guarantee you. You would lose an eye. Now I have just a small tip of a pin there, and they'll just stick right in the ends of those branches. May have to drill a little hole, but you get the idea. I'll show it to you after I get it all mounted. I'm going to get the little Christmas balls on here now, and then I'm going to glue the wood topper on it. that about finished it up. So let's get started. Got a lot of work to do here, so let's get busy and do it. Let me show you the can here. Polyacrylic, and it's clear gloss, and I'm putting that on the tree now, and I'm putting it on. I had a little mishap here earlier. I put a clean tablecloth on, and I spilled it. See that wet spot right there? I spilled it right there. I spilled a little of it when I opened it. But now I'm just getting what I can out of that wet spot. A clear gloss finish, protected finish. And that protects it from the outdoors. If you get hiking and hot or cold, it's gonna protect the wood for you. Came off of a limb in my yard. It blooms in the early spring, has some white flowers on it, and tulip poplar, that's what I'm trying to think of. Beautiful wood, that's where this one came from. So whoever gets this stick, and I already know who's gonna get this stick. It's kind of a special order from a special friend, and I'll be mailing this out for Christmas. I call this my wipe-on polish, and since I'm going to put several coats on, I want the first coat to cover it, but I want it to be relatively thin. Now I'm going to give it 3 more coats. Get that done, and we'll be back to see what it looks like. Here we go with the hand grip and a wrist strap all in one. I'm starting today with 22 feet of nice blue paracord, and what I want to do is pull up through your fingers about 2.5, 3 foot of paracord to start with. Lay it down, hold your thumb about where you're going to start your wrap, and then what I want to do is get this end here and go over once, twice, and 3 times. Then what you do, you come back over, you have 3 loops here. Instead of wrapping the 4th time, the 3rd time, you go under that first loop, not this one. Go under the first loop, over the 2nd, and under the 3rd. So you actually have something like this. Under, over, under. Just snug up on it. Get this one back under there. You can run it over so now there's the long end, and you just tighten it up. See, that's stay tight that way. Now slide it down to where you want to start the wrap. I've got enough on here to go that far probably. And now see, that stays tight. And you have this one that's coming out under that loop right there. Now we're going to get a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape this down so it don't get in the way. Have a little bit of Scotch tape here that does that pretty nice. And we just want to stick that down for right now, out of the way. Now, next thing we do is just hold your hand under it, let the end of it come out between your thumb and forefinger, and you roll your hand like this. Come up to the end of the stick and go over. And it's important to do that the same way each time. Now coming all the way down, see the reason we tape that tape down out of the way? Now just pull it up tight and tighten it up. And you can do that by just pulling it right on down. And that tightens the whole thing as you pull it. And see it come all the way up here, was over here, now it came around and came out right there. So that's pretty tight right there. Hold your thumb there reach under the paracord, let it come out between your thumb and forefinger. And then you just simply flip it over and over the end of the stick again. See, and pull that knot around. Till it comes out right there. And pull it up snug again. Now, we'll do the same thing. Go under. I'm gonna pull all the kinks out of this thing. And to do that, you have to kind of run it through your fingers all the way to the end most of the time. See what I've done? It just pulls the kinks right out of it that way, and it don't try to coil up on you by doing that. Now go under again, let it hang out, thumb and forefinger, remember that. And then you flip it over, bring it down to this end, and put the loop through there. See, there's where your hand was. And when you pull it tight. It's going to take a while for the magic to happen here, but it will. Now, let's get another handful. I'll do a few more of these so you get the hang of it. I want to get down here a little bit because I want to show you something. So go right here, turn your hand over the end of the stick. This is very easy to do. Tighten it up. Let it tighten. Just let it tighten where it will. And make sure you come back in here and get it pushed up at least every other time, because it's pretty snug on there and it's going to be hard to do. Now under, not over. If you go here that way, that's going to mess up your whole pattern. Go under it. Make sure the rest of the paracord, thumb and forefinger. Remember thumb and forefinger. And then make your loop. Come all the way down at this end and tighten up again. There it is. Nice, nice, very nice. Now, I want to show you what's happening here. You can see this spiral is very distinct now. You see that spiral starting all the way around, laced all the way around. You'll be able to see the spiral all the way down this stick when we get it done. Now we get it back in position. Turn your hand each time. Now after one more time, then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to shut the camera off, finish the rest of it till we get out toward the top, and then I'll show you how we end up. Thumb and forefinger, flip it over like this. That comes down and goes over the end of the stick. And you got it made. Now you'll pull that all out and you tighten it up. It won't be hard to tighten, and it stays tight every time you put it on. And it makes a real tight, especially around this cord here. We're covering that end up so we don't have anything sticking out here. Okay, we'll be back in a minute when we get this all run on down. And you want to leave 2.5 to 3 foot sticking out on the end when you get down here. You want to make sure that you end up with enough down at this end. That's where your wrist strap's going to be. So you want to look at it. Don't wrap too much. Now there's about 3 foot, there's over 3 foot left. So let's tighten that up a little bit. Make sure she gets good and tight. You can feel it. Now, I think we'll go one more and take a look. I just checked the length and it's a little long yet. You're going to use all you can. I had 22 foot here to start with. So what I want to do now with that on top, well, you can see that real well. I'm going to start out with about 8-10 inches and go around under itself. And you're tying a knot right in that loop. You pull these equal, about the same, and it ought to stay down in there. I think that's going to do it. Now you pull that tight, and we'll see it's right up against there. And you see what we got now. That knot is right down against that. So that's not going to let that come loose. But what I do now, I take some CA glue, and then I put it right down in that knot, let it go down in there where that last knot comes around. I hope you can see that right there. And the glue this CA glue will penetrate there, and you can put your little on both sides. Just be aware that this CA glue puts off a vapor of cyanide gas that you can actually see the vapor sometimes, but don't stand over it without a good ventilation, because it puts, that's why they call it a CA glue. Now that is okay right there. And what I do now is cut this tail off. Let's cut that off and leave a little bit. This is just for look. Now let's go here, and I'll get burned right on the end of that, and just make a little knobby right there. And that's a little hard knot right in that. It keeps it from fraying. Get the camera turned around and we'll take a better look at this stick. Well, I've just finished up on my Christmas spirit tree. Before I share that with you, I have an announcement to make. I know I have close to 8,000 subscribers now, but last week we were just getting into 7,500 subscribers, and that was the point to where the giveaway was going to happen. I'm going to give away a walking stick, and next Saturday at 4 o'clock is when I push the button and randomly select from the comments that I have from today's video. And the comment has to have a secret word in it, and that word popped up somewhere in the video. Just you need to find that word that popped up on the screen and use that word in your comment and be a subscriber. So if you're not subscribed, I'd go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because you have to be a subscriber to be eligible for the drawing. So be sure and get your name in the hat for that. I'm going to give my viewers and subscribers a whole week to come in and see this video. Anyway, let's get to reviewing this stick. And this stick is already going to a special friend of mine. And if they're watching, they're going to see it before, they're going to see it here before you get it in the mail. Of course, it's going to be boxed up and sent out fairly soon now. But it's a Christmas spirit. See, that's what a Christmas spirit looks like. And, you know, everyone's familiar with the wood spirit, but a Christmas spirit is a little different. And you see the small little balls on there. And I want to share with you how I did that. I didn't put that on a screen because it was so tedious and time consuming, but I took a stick pin, had about 1 inch on it, which is too long, and I cut off. I left about 1/8 of an inch of that pin on the end of it, held the flowers at an angle to leave a little sharp point there, and then I pushed them gently into the tree wood up here at the end of each branch. Then I took some medium CA glue and I put 1 drop right on the end of that. That pin held it there, and then that CA glue is going to hold it until the end of time. So now this ball you see on the top that for decoration, that's a wooden, not a wooden bead, but it's a solid wood ball that I made. I didn't show that either, but I have a little cutter that makes those balls. And it's made out of the same wood really as this tree, or as this Christmas spirit walking stick. Now, with that, I want to say Merry Christmas, especially to my special friend that's going to be receiving this stick. And here is the spiral wrap that I did. Showed you how to do that. And a wrist strap, I like to have plenty of room in them. You can get on here if it's not tight enough for you, just tighten up on your wrist like that. And good place to hang it and all that stuff. And the stick has beautiful wood on it that's well protected. The tree and everything has 3 coats of polyacrylic on it, very slick. And if you look at it close, there's some reddish hue in that grain. That wasn't me. I didn't put anything on it. I didn't add anything to it. I've seen that in dogwood before. It's a grain, it looks like dogwood, but it was fairly straight. And I was pretty sure I picked that up out of my yard from a limb off of a tulip poplar that came off. So this is either tulip poplar. I do have some dogwood out there in the pile. That is characteristic of dogwood. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas of what kind of wood this is. And don't forget, if you missed out or skipped around the video and didn't see that word, it did pop up in this video somewhere. But anyway, get that word and make a comment with that word in the sentence. And that word has to be in the sentence because YouTube's random drawing looks for that word that I put in there in a sentence that one of the viewers have left there. And you also need to be, or you have to be, a subscriber to qualify. So you want to get yourself subscribed and use that word in a comment and you're all set. Now with that, appreciate the prayers from my wife, and I'll see you in the next video.